The observatory considers issuing the standby signal 1 tonight.
Hello and a very good evening. The Hong Kong Observatory says it may consider issuing the standby signal number 1 tonight as Tropical Cyclone Nida edges closer to Hong Kong. Members of the public could be seen soaking up the sun at Wan Chai Pier, and many of them brought along their umbrellas and their hats. Despite the fine weather, though, the observatory says Tropical Cyclone Nida will enter the South China Sea tonight or early on Monday morning. The observatory may consider issuing the standby signal number 1 tonight.
According to the present forecast track, Nida will edge close to the coast of Guangdong on Monday. It will be rather close to the Pearl River region on Tuesday, posing a severe threat to the region. We expect there will be heavy rain with squalls, high winds and rough seas in Hong Kong.
Meanwhile, Hong Kong experienced a slight tremor this afternoon after a 5.4 magnitude earthquake hit Wuzhou on the mainland. The quake hit Kangwu County in Wuzhou, Guangxi at 5:18 p.m. Main authorities say the quake's epicenter was 10 kilometers deep. Here in Hong Kong, the observatory has received reports from over 400 citizens who said they felt the tremor in the afternoon. An engineer has recommended installing crash cushions on the sides of road curves following 2 similar traffic accidents on Hong Kong Island in 12 hours since last night. One person was killed and another injured in one of the crashes. Caleb Long has more.
A car plunged down a slope after it went out of control and crashed into the curb on Stubbs Road at around 7 o'clock this morning. Police said the vehicle didn't come to a stop until it crashed into some railings on the slope. No one was hurt in the accident. The police closed off the road as the car was towed uphill. There was a similar accident last night. A car broke the railings after it collided with a minibus on Old Peak Road at around 7 p.m. The car fell more than 10 meters onto Guildford Road. A passenger was killed in the accident. The driver of the car sustained injuries and the vehicle was severely damaged. Engineer Lo Kok Keung noted roads on the mid-levels are steep with lots of curves. He recommended installing crash cushions to serve as barriers on the sides of the road curves, which are more effective in preventing vehicles from crashing down a slope. He said the crash cushions can protect the drivers by absorbing the force of impact during a crash. Low also recommended installing concrete roadside barriers, which can withstand up to 3 tons of force. Caleb Leung, TVB News.
Well, Legislative Council election candidate Yeung Kei-chung has announced on social media that he was disqualified by the returning officer. Yeung, who originally intended to run in the Kowloon West geographical constituency, is placed second on the list of Jonathan Ho. Yeung said he was disqualified because he refuses to uphold the basic law and declined to sign the relevant documents. He will hold a press conference on the matter later. In addition to the one led by Jonathan Ho, the other lists of candidates in Kowloon West are headed by Tam Kwok Kyu, Leung Mei Fun, Tik Chi Yun, Yao Wai Ching, Wong Pik Wan, Lau Siu Lai, Ann Chang, Augustin Lee, Chu Siu Hong, Claudia Mo, Wong Yuk Man, Kwan San Wai, Lam Yi Lai and Avery Ng.
More than 150 civilians, mostly women and children, have left besieged eastern parts of Aleppo in Syria using a safety corridor that allows people to flee without fear of coming under fire. The deal was organized by the Russians and Syrian government to help people who are trapped in the opposition-held areas. Russia's defense ministry says the 169 civilians have left since Thursday through 3 safety crossings. The ministry also said in a statement that 69 rebels had surrendered themselves to the army.
In Europe, Pope Francis challenged hundreds of thousands of young people to reject being couch potatoes who retreat into video games and computer screens. The pontiff is in Poland for World Youth Day. a jamboree of young people from around the world that's been dubbed the Catholic Woodstock. Peppering his speech with contemporary lingo, the 79-year-old Pope addressed his eager audience with enthusiasm. Francis spoke of the paralysis that comes from seeking convenience, telling them that they didn't come into this world to vegetate. He also urged them to shun indifference to the suffering of others, asking them to pray for Syria and other places of conflict.
The Development Secretary has repeated the government's determination to solve the problem of unsafe signboards. Paul Chan said on his blog today that since mid-2014, authorities have removed up to 200 of these structures. Temple Street here in Yau Ma Tei is one area in Hong Kong where one can find numerous signboards, including dilapidated ones. Even after businesses close down, their signboards still remain. Some metal structures holding up the signboards have corroded. This man said he fears for his safety whenever there's a storm. This one, meanwhile, said authorities should try to keep these signboards because they are part of Hong Kong's culture. But he said the government should ensure the safety of the structures at the same time. Secretary for Development Paul Chan said on his blog he understands businesses rely on these signboards for promotion. However, the companies must not put public safety at risk. To ensure this, the Buildings Department has recently been actively getting the court's permission to remove the signboards that pose risks to the public. As a result, over the past 3 months, officials have removed 6 signboards that seriously violated regulations, and their removal costs were covered by the owners. The government also revealed that starting from May 2014, it has carried out similar operations in different districts, including Sham Shui Po, Shangwan, and Causeway Bay, and has removed close to 200 signboards. And it's not going to stop there. Authorities say they will expand the operation to remove problematic signboards along 6 other streets this year, including Thompson Road in Wan Chai, Zha Tzi Mui Road in North Point, and Portland Street in Mong Kok. The airport construction fee to help fund the third runway project will be collected from air passengers starting tomorrow. Meanwhile, a protest was held at the airport today against the third runway 1 day before the project's reclamation work is set to begin. The protesters say the third runway project will cause noise and air pollution, affecting nearby residents and marine life. They added that the court has not ruled on a judicial review against the project's environment impact assessment, so work should not begin yet. In response, the airport authority said it is keeping a close eye on the development of the legal action against the project. A recent survey found that the public still lacks awareness about a potentially dangerous heart condition. Experts say failing to address the warning signs may increase the risk of a stroke. Rachel Lang reports.
60-year-old Mrs. Cho suffered her first stroke at the age of 21. That's when she was told she has atrial fibrillation, or AF. It's the most common type of arrhythmia that affects about 53,000 people in Hong Kong. Symptoms include irregular heartbeats, palpitations, dizziness, chest pain, and shortness of breath. The Hong Kong College of Cardiology interviewed 810 people last month and found 38% of younger respondents have a general understanding of the disorder, while less than 30% of elderly respondents say they've heard of the disease. Doctors say that's alarming because the condition usually affects older people, and AF patients are more prone to suffer from strokes.
The main reason is that during atrial fibrillation, the heart is not pumping well. Blood movement inside the heart is slow, and they tend to clot up. Once clots forms in the atrium, they can be moved to different parts of the body, including the brain, resulting in a stroke.
There are about 12,000 cases of stroke every year, and around 3,000 are caused by AF. Experts say patients often don't notice the symptoms or ignore them. They added, a stroke can be avoided if precautions are taken. Doctors say there are many devices in the market claiming to be able to perform accurate electrocardiogram tests. But they reminded patients not to trust the results completely and seek medical advice if they're concerned. Rachel Lang, TVB News.
And that's the news.
Thanks for watching. Good night.